Hey, Bud Bieber, there you are. I was just looking at my other monitor and it didn't show I was live, but it looks like I am. How you doing? I am playing around with a little testing on Streamyard, trying to see what all I can get it to do. I'm playing around with a bunch of little things here and there. One of the things it lets you do is do like an intro um, to preview your YouTube, like what you do. This is one that I did. It sits there and plays through the intro, and then it comes back to what I'm doing. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm doing pretty well too for an old guy. I'm just kind of learning my way around this new streaming software program. It'll do a lot of things. It's one of the two that most people use. Some people use Zoom, but a lot of the people that are now streaming live to YouTube are using StreamYard. They have a free version and they have a paid version. The free version does a lot of stuff. It just has up in the corner there where it says OCP, it has a little logo of theirs on the free one. And it only allows you to do like 20 hours a month live streaming for the free one. For $25 a month, you can get all the fancy other stuff that allows you to do unlimited streaming and do a lot of other playing around. But I'm just learning it. It's a pretty capable program, and it seems to work very well. I don't know how you're hearing me or seeing me, but yeah, I've got a green screen background, and I can actually change what's on that green screen background too. If I go over here, I can be in front of the Grand Canyon, for instance. It does a pretty good job of doing a lot of things well. The two young guys that invented this program, both of them look like they're in their 20s, but they really did a good job setting it up. And it doesn't take a computer with a lot of horsepower to run the thing. It'll run on a lot of. Hello, Bent Rail Productions. Welcome in. Can do some other fancy things like with banners and things like that. And I can also do things like this. I can actually put comments up on the screen, which are pretty cool. Yeah, this is a pretty nice program. I'm just getting the hang of how to do it, and it seems to do a lot of things well. Actually, I could actually get anybody that wanted to join in. I could get them to join in. It doesn't take much. It just takes some type of device, be it a cell phone or a laptop or a desktop or a tablet. And the only requirement is it likes to have Chrome installed to run. And once you have it up and ready to go, all I need is an email address, and I can email you a link, and you can put that in on your device, and it'll let you allow it to use your camera on your microphone on whatever device you have. And once you do that, then if I send you a link, you can actually join in, and I can put you on here in another screen. For instance, if I go over here and go to my comments, I can put up the instructions on how to do that. I could do this, for instance. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, the process is very simple. You just need a device of the following type that has an internet connection, whether it's wireless or whatever. And it can be a cell phone, either Android or iPhone. It can be a desktop, laptop computer, or an iPad or an Android tablets. But the one requirement is they need to have the Chrome browser installed. This thing seems to run best on Chrome. And then once I have that, if I have an email address, I can mail a link to you. And you just open up Chrome browser and put the link in the top. And then you'll be asked to use your device's camera or microphone. And after you allow those, you'll see a screen where you can see yourself in the camera and you can test the microphone. And at that point, you'll see a place for a display name that you will see on the screen, like my name that's on there, where it says Michael Ghost Old Codger, whatever name you want to be on the screen. And then it'll show up. Well, let's see. Then you'll see a place for the display name, and then there's a blue bar that says Enter Broadcast Studio. And once you do that, you'll show up here on my desktop, and I can add you into the stream. If anybody's interested in doing that, I'd be glad to have anybody that wants to try it. Yeah, technology is indeed crazy these days. It gets better every day. I invited a couple of people. Mr. Bent Rail Productions didn't see the part where I started up before. I was telling Bud that I had some intros that you can play. And I'm just trying to make a few little intros of what my channel is all about. I do a bunch of different things on my channel, but early voting, huh? Yeah, glad you stopped in, Bud. I appreciate you helping me check out some of my stuff here. I voted yesterday, so didn't have to go vote today. What have you been up to, Bent Rail Productions? Mostly, you putting up any new videos? Thank you, sir. I appreciate the good comment, but I'm getting there slowly but surely. I like to do a lot of different things on my channel, and hopefully we'll have some good wildflowers to go out and hunt this year. My wife and I go out and, hey, Colby MX Green, welcome in. What kind of shipping you talking about, Bent Rail Productions? Is it railroad shipping? I think you're associated with the railroad, if I'm not mistaken. I believe you are. Thank you, Colby. I appreciate it. This is something I've just started doing. I'm getting the hang of this program. It's got a lot of bells and whistles on it that you can do. I was just showing Bent Rail and Bud Bieber that was here a minute ago some of my intros. It has where you could play an intro, something about your channel, which is kind of nice. If you'd like to see one, I can play one for you. That crazy spider was a green lynx spider. They don't build spider webs. They just sit in the middle of a flower waiting for something to come on. Hey, Peter Carroll, thank you for stopping in, sir. I'm just playing around with Streamyard a little bit, trying to get the hang of it. It looks like it's going to be a really capable program. I was just showing these guys you can do intros and do green screens. I'm sitting in front of the Grand Canyon right now, but if I wanted to change it to something else, it's pretty easy to do. I can, for instance, sit in front of a waterfall. And also, and this is pretty cool, yeah, it's a fun program. I'm just getting the hang of it. It does a lot of things well. Oh, you fly the drone on lake freighters, just kind of like Paul Murray does. Yeah, I've seen one or two of yours. I have indeed. Yeah, no flying around here today. We've had wind gusts nearly 50 miles an hour. So there's no drone flying. That's why I was playing around with this program a little bit, just to see what all I could get it to do. How's things in Australia, Peter? What time of day is it over there, by the way? Kobe, I do a lot of different things on this channel. I fly drones sometimes. I also ride motorcycles with a motorcycle group. I have a Goldwing motorcycle, and I carry a little Mavic Mini around with me on that motorcycle. So when we're sitting around getting ready to start, I put the Mavic Mini up and record on my phone everything that's going on around me. And when I get home, I combine it with the video from up above, and it sounds like we're talking up on the Mavic Mini. It's kind of fun to watch. And then I do a lot of time-lapse sunsets. I have a lot of those. People love my time-lapse sunsets. Today, there's not a cloud in the sky, so there's not a good sunset out there at all. Most days, I either get a good sunset or a sunrise, but this time of year, between November and March, we have some of our best ones. Oh, you fly drones and ride dirt bikes. Cool. We have a lot in common then. Yeah, I've been riding motorcycles since I was just a youngster. When I was 15 years old in the state of Texas, if you rode a motorcycle or a motor scooter that had under 5 horsepower, you didn't have to have a license. And Harley Davidson made a little 2-stroke, 1-cylinder motorcycle that was 4.7 horsepower. It had big wheels and tank, looked like a regular motorcycle, just smaller. And I had an uncle that had a motorcycle shop, and I would go help him on weekends, tear down motors, change oil, and stuff like that. And somebody had taken one of these apart and never put it back together. So I picked it up really cheap. We put it back together, and I rode that all over the place. And I've had a motorcycle of some kind ever since then. So I've been writing for like 60 years because I'll be 76 next month. But it's something that gets in your blood, kind of like flying drones. It's once you do it, it's something you like to keep doing. At least I do. But I do a lot of different things on my channel. I have about 15 different playlists. I have drones, I have motorcycle riding, I have wildflowers, I have sunset time lapses. I have a lot of a lot of different things. If you'd like, I can show you one of my time lapse sunsets that's sped up a little bit. They're all short, but they're a little longer than that. Generally, they're about between a minute and 2 minutes long. I had to speed this one up because on the previews on here, they only allow you 30 seconds. So I had to speed it up 400% over what they usually are. Mega Mindy Lou, would you look who stopped in? What you up to, gal? Glad you stopped in. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. I have a lot of people that watch my channel just to see the sunsets. They'll get a notice I put up a sunset. They'll come in and watch it, but they don't watch anything else. Jay Santiago, good to see you, sir. What's up with you in your part of the world? Yeah, I saw the ones that y'all built earlier. What is the height on those, Mega Mindy Lou? Because I know CPS has a big solar plant out by Southwest Research Institute, but they look pretty low to the ground. Would those robots get under those, or do you know? Jay Santiago, what's going on in your part of the world tonight, or whatever time of the world it is where you are? I don't know exactly where you are, Jay. What part of the world are you in? Yeah, Peter, I know you can do that if you screen share, but it's 30 seconds for the intro, and they can't be longer than 10 megabytes long. So I had to do these real short and cut the resolution way down. Oh, you did? You had a demo for CPS yesterday? Was it out there under those, or was it under a different one that they have, different set of photo cells? Well, I'll tell you a secret, Mr. Colby. From a home computer, you don't have to have any subscribers to go live. You only have to have 1,000 subscribers if you're doing remote live broadcasts. I'm sitting here in front of my desktop computer, and it's streaming over the internet. Yeah, I thought it was a different location because those seem to be really low to the ground. They look, it's hard to tell from the road, but they don't look like they're more than 3.5 or 4 feet off the ground. I'm sure the others are. White Plains, New York, Jay. I didn't know exactly where you were. I never heard you say before, but okay, sure. Yeah. You can live stream on YouTube with 0 subscribers, but the only requirement is it has to be on a desktop or a laptop. And since I have high-speed fiber out here, I'm not limited in any bandwidth. I could actually live stream a 4K video with my live stream fiber if there were software capable of it. But all the streaming software either does 1080p or 720p, and that's all that YouTube can handle. Okay, Colby. There's a real simple way to do it. I'm using a little Logitech webcam, and I could use the microphone in it, but I like to use the ones here with the microphone on my headphones because I can hear a lot better, and it doesn't pick up an echo that way. But anyway, basically, there you can go to streamyard.com, and there is a free version that you can sign up for, and you don't load anything on your computer. You just have to have a copy of Chrome browser and an email address. That's all you have to have. You can actually do it on a laptop if you have one with a built-in camera of some kind. But you need a camera, and you need some kind of microphone, you need a Chrome browser and an internet connection. But anyway, you get on StreamYard.com and sign up for the free version, and you don't have to download any program to your computer. They will send you an email link that's like a 5 or 6 digit number. You go and open up Chrome and just they'll send you a link first. You put the link in there, and then they'll send you a number, and you put the number in there and your own, and you can play with it. You don't have a desktop? How about a laptop, Colby? If you have a laptop, that'll work too. The thing about it is you have to be at your home location to do it. And you can't do it with a phone or a tablet. Now, you could be a guest here with a phone or a tablet. If I had an email address, I could send you a link, and you could get on, and you would show up here on my desktop, and I could add you in another window. We could have two people talking at once. But yeah, it's pretty simple. There's some things you have to set up on YouTube, but if you go up to the top of the browser where it says upload a video or something like there's also a link that says go live. I probably will do a little more stuff once I've gotten started, but here's for you. Thank you so much for stopping in. I appreciate you coming by. Yep. Stop by anytime you see me on. I will be here. I'll probably be doing it more often. And I will have guests probably later on. I invited Michael from Philly Drone Life tonight, but he's probably got something else going on. He's not stopping in. So anyway, just me with crazy random ramblings tonight. But I wanted to just see if I could get the hold of the way to do this. It lets me do all kinds of fancy things. I could share one of my other screens on my computer, for instance, and I could put it up full screen. This is a picture of the San Antonio Riverwalk downtown. It's a big tourist thing. A lot of tourists come along, walk around, see entertainment, eat. That's all those umbrellas are one of the Mexican eating places. But thank you for stopping by, Bent Rail. And yeah, Bent Rail's got a good YouTube channel, Colby. I can go wild and crazy with my green screen background. This program is quite capable for a free program. It does a lot of things well and doesn't take a really big horsepower computer to run on. Yeah, Peter, you're right. Those guys do constantly update. I would invite you on, but I don't have your email address. Oto's Mavic Show from the Philippines. Good to see you, sir. Glad you stopped in. Just playing around with Streamyard. I'm trying to learn how to use it a little better, and been investigating some of the fancy things you can do with it. I was just showing some of the guys that I'm sitting in front of a green screen background, and I can change that to anything I happen to have in my list of things to do. I can put up my drone behind me, my Mavic Mini. Hey, Mega, you back? Roho Droner, good evening. How are you, sir? Good to see you. I was just trying out Streamyard as a live streaming software, and it seems to be really, really well. It does well. I was earlier showing some of the people that you can do intros on here and stuff, and they have to be short, but there you go. Somebody once asked me, what the heck kind of spider was that was in that video? And it turns out it's what they call a green lynx spider. Green lynx spider. Montana Drone, welcome for stopping in. Good to see you. But the green lynx spiders don't build a web like other spiders. They just sit in the middle of a flower and wait for an insect to come along, and they grab them. And they're really ugly looking, but and they're fast. As you can see, that thing got out of there in a hurry. Mega Mindy Lou, is it a little faster now that you're on your computer? Mike Miller, good to see you. Yeah, that spider scares a lot of people. I was showing him some of my intros that I made for this program to show what I do on my YouTube channel. And I do a lot of flowers and things. I just happened to run across that silly spider in one of the flowers in my front yard one day, and I happened to have a video camera with me. And so I wanted to see how close I could get before it ran off, and it let me get really close. I was within an inch of it before it ran around behind the back of that flower. Montana Drones, yes, StreamYard has a free version that you can use. If you go to streamyard.com, you can look at it, and It's real simple to use. The only requirement is that you have to do it on a desktop or a laptop to be able to control it. Now you can join as a guest on other devices, but anyway, if you have a desktop or a laptop, you need to load the Chrome browser, and then you go to streamyard.com, and they have a free version, and then they have several paid versions. But the free version, you can do a lot of stuff. One of the things that it has is a StreamYard logo up in the top where you see my OCP. On the free version, that has a StreamYard logo up there. And you're limited to 20 hours a month of streaming with the free version. The paid version is $25 a month or $20 a month if you do it a subscription for a whole year. And you get other things like you could do you can do the custom intros like I had. You can do various other things, but you can do green screen even on the free version. Like I'm in front of a green screen right now, and if I go in, I can change my background to a different background just by clicking on a photo, and it puts it behind me on the green screen. This is my old motorcycle when I was out hunting wildflowers one time. I found a good bunch of them right here. But yeah, the free version is very capable, and you don't have to download any software to your computer. You just get on there and log in, and they send you what's required, and then you says enter broadcast, and you go in and you set up your broadcast with the title and whether you want to do public streaming or unlisted streaming or no streaming at all. You can just record it. It's got a lot of options to do, and you can have different options on a lot of different things. But yeah, it's a pretty cool program. I'm just now getting the hang of it. It does a really good job, and to be the main guy to do the live streaming, you have to do it from home, from a home computer or a laptop. That's the only requirement. Now you can be a guest. You can be a guest on a cell phone or on a iPad or Android pad or any of several different things. You just can't be the one who initiates it and controls it. You have to have a home computer to do that, either desktop or laptop. And on a home computer, you just need a camera. I've got a little cheap Logitech web camera, and you can use the microphone on it. It has pretty good noise canceling. Yeah, there is a delay, Mega Mendilou, and that's not because of me. It's because of YouTube. YouTube buffers everything, and it takes sometimes as long as 20 or 30 seconds between the time I say it and the time you see it on YouTube. Yeah, the green screen does take a little more horsepower, Peter. I don't have any trouble with my computer because I'm using the one I use for editing my 4K videos, and it's got like 8 cores in it. So it's in 32 gigabytes of RAM. It's got all kinds of stuff, but you don't need that much horsepower to run it. You can do it on a lesser computer, and if you don't do the green screen, you can actually get away with a lot more. The green screen does take some more horsepower, and they warn you about that when you try to use it. It says that, it might be a little slower. That's right. You cannot stream from a phone remote without 1,000 subscribers, but you can stream from your home computer with 0 subscribers. A lot of people don't know that. It's only the remote ones that they tell you have to have 1,000 subscribers to do it. I don't have 1,000 subscribers, and you see I'm doing it. Yeah, eternity in the electronics world is right. Everybody wants everything right now these days, and when you think about it, your cell phone has more computing power than they had on the computers on the space shuttle when they went to the moon. Yep, things are advancing so fast these days. Yeah, if you're using the built-in graphics on the computer, Peter, it might be a little slower. Mine has a big high horsepower plug-in graphics card, but I used to run this on my old computer, which wasn't that fast and didn't have that much horsepower, and it ran just fine. But Peter, you can get a new one these days for a reasonable price. They come down all the time. I've been building my own computers for quite a few years because I worked in the field of electronics most of my life. And at the time I built this big high horsepower computer when I started doing 4K videos, you couldn't buy one that was quite as much horsepower as this one. But the closest one you could buy was about $3,000, and I bought the parts and built this one myself for about $1,200. Big saving. Any other questions anybody have that I might be able to answer? I don't know everything, but I know a thing or two, as they say. For an old guy, I've been around a long time. I've only been on YouTube since 2007, and my first videos were not all that great. If you go back and look at some of my really early videos, I've learned a lot since then, and I try to do better all the time. I have a lot of fun at editing and playing with different things. I'm a player. I like to play around with things. If it's got something on it, I got to try it and see how it works, just like this program. I was playing with it today before I went live and trying to figure out what all it'll do. I haven't got it all figured out, but I've got some of it figured out. I was just wanting to get on and see if I could actually run this program without getting things totally screwed up. It looks like I've almost figured it out. But it's not that hard to use, really. It is very user-friendly. So if anybody wants to try out live streaming, it's free to use the free version. You might just look at it and give it a try and see what you can do with it. All it needs to know is what your YouTube channel is. You just log onto your YouTube channel and give it access to it, and it actually starts the live stream and ends the live stream straight from your desktop on here. Yeah, I noticed that a lot of people that fly drones love messing around with other gadgets too. I bought my Osmo Pocket when it first came out, and I got it to do 4K 60 frame per second video, which it does well. But once I learned that it would do time-lapse, motion-lapse videos, I started using it for sunsets. Mega Mindy Lou, did I really help you lay out circuit boards? That was a long time in another world far, far away. I don't even know if many people lay out circuit boards that much anymore. I know you do, and what you're doing, you still do some. and that's good. I haven't laid out a circuit board probably in 6 years. I did a couple for church for some of the specialized TV stuff that we had, where we had to run the tally lights, the red lights on the TV cameras that we had. We had 2 different voltages and 2 different kinds of TV cameras, and I had to make up a little circuit board to do that. I have a Mavic Pro, and I have a Mavic 2 Pro, and I have a Mavic Mini. I had the Mavic Pro. I bought it probably 2.5, 3 years ago, and I learned to fly on it. And then when the Mavic 2 Pro came out, I looked and I couldn't decide between the Pro or the Zoom, but I decided that I liked the 10-bit video on the Pro. And I found out that if I want to zoom in, I can actually zoom in 4:1 in post-production and still get the equivalent of a 1080p video out of it. So it does well for what I do. And then when the Mavic Mini came out, I bought the combo package, and that fits right in the trunk of my motorcycle with all kinds of room to spare. So I haul it around on my motorcycle, and when we stop places for lunch or when we get ready to take off, if it's not too windy or no fly zone, I put the Mavic Mini up and take some video to incorporate with my motorcycle videos. Last Saturday we started out and I flew it, but the place we went and had lunch was Airport Diner on an airport in another town, and so I knew I couldn't fly it there. But yeah, I love the little Mavic Mini. I did not update to the latest update on the Mavic Mini because a lot of people were having problems after that. And I've never had a problem with mine. I live out in the country, and I've had it out way farther than I probably should have. And I've never had any connectivity problems as far as I've had it out. And I always use UAV forecast to check my winds before I go up, which is where a lot of people get in trouble. Out here in the hills of West Texas, you can check it on the ground, and it'll say, 5 to 10 mile an hour gusts, and you check it at 100 feet up, and it's 15 with 30 mile an hour gusts. There's that much difference between ground and 100 feet up out here in the country. So I always check that before I go out. That's where a lot of people get in trouble with a Mavic Mini, especially new flyers. They go outside, it doesn't feel windy, and so they put it up and run it up to 200 feet, and then all of a sudden it's heading off in the wind. Yeah, most of the people I know that have a Mavic Mini Montana drone seem to have no problems with it. But most of the people I know have had other drones before the Mavic Mini. I know a couple of people that the Mavic Mini is their first drone, and they did what they were supposed to do. They went out and flew it in all the empty fields and got used to flying it before they really started doing a lot with it. But these people that take it up and say, how high can I go or how far can I go? I don't even watch those videos anymore because that's just idiotic. I know mine will go up to 400 feet, but I don't do it often. I don't need to go that high. I get a lot better pictures down lower in the ground. In fact, on one of my videos, I was bored one day and I took it down through the woods. One of the guys asked me, he said, I have a Mavic Mini Skydio. No, it's just a good little drone. You just have to be careful with it. There's no collision avoidance. Montana drones, are you asking me, or are you asking somebody else we're able to live stream with the drone? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, that's the problem with drones, Mindy Lou. You get one, you want a better one, and they get more expensive the better they get. Yeah, Peter, that's the main reason I got my Mavic Mini, is take it with me on motorcycle rides. It just, that trunk of my Goldwing, I can put it in there and have all kinds of room to spare, even in the combo case. Yeah, some of those kids take right to drone flying. I have one of my daughter's sons, my grandson. He's now about 12, and he had a little Tello, and he got really good at flying it. He got some pretty good videos. Montana drone. Yes, I can live stream from my drone, but I do it different than some other people do. Since I have to live stream here on my computer, I have a long HDMI cable that I connect into my smart controller. And then I have a little video capture card, USB capture card that captures HDMI to video into my computer. And that's the way I stream my drone. It's not the way other people do it. There are probably some other ways of doing it, but without 1,000 subscribers, this is the easiest way for me to do it. I have a second floor balcony off of my house, and I just go out there. It's right next to where I have my computer. I just go out there and I have a little wooden table that I take off from so I don't get any magnetic interference. Yeah, Peter, we sometimes have Harley riders ride with us on the motorcycle rides, but the people I ride with, I've been riding with for years. We have a motorcycle club here in San Antonio, Texas, and we ride together a lot. But we don't just let Gold Wing riders ride. We let anybody ride with us. Yeah, 79-year-old dads on ladders don't always go well. I'll be 76 next month, and I know that those old sacks of concrete sure are a lot heavier than they were when I was younger. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to get around things, Montana drone. If you think about things, sometimes you can figure out another way of doing things than what standard people do. And I'm pretty good at doing that. I had a job where I was doing electronics research for years and years. Mega Mindy Lou was one of the coworkers out there, and she can tell you we did a lot of different things, and we had to figure out how to do some things different. We'd build on stuff we'd done before, but we'd do it a different way. And I've always liked puzzles and figuring out how to do things, and so I enjoyed doing that. If I had a job where I had to do the same thing every day for years, I'd go stark raving mad. I like a challenge and always have. So it worked out well for me in that job. I worked that job for 42 years and enjoyed every minute of it. Peter Carroll talking about my motorcycle videos. I have two cameras permanently mounted on my motorcycle, one in front and one in back. And you turn on the key and they both start recording. And they'll record on a 128 gigabyte card. They'll record for about 10 hours. So Mega Mindy Lou, I had one of my wife's clothesline poles that rotted out and fell over, and I had to dig it out and put it in some new concrete. So I had to lift 3 bags to do that. Otto's Mavic Show. I'm glad you stopped in. I thank you for stopping in, sir. Appreciate it. Come back anytime. Yeah, there's a lot of great people out there. The problem is I don't know that many of them anymore. Most of the ones I worked with are retired or getting ready to retire. I still go out there on Thursdays for lunch, and we go to that little Mexican place just down the road on just past Callahan on the right, the Taco Guadalajara place, and we meet there for lunch at 11:30 on Thursdays. And when I first started out, it was just me and Carlos doing that, and slowly some of the other people started coming, and now sometimes we have 6 or 7 there. It's usually me and Carlos and Dave Moore, and retirees. Russ Ridman comes, and sometimes Dale Winnie comes. And then there's a couple other people that will sometimes come. But I have a lunch list I send out every Thursday to all the people that are potential candidates and ask if they can make it for lunch. And if so, I go out there and I go to work and pick some of the people up that are still working, and then we meet over at the restaurant. No, it's not Lupita's. It's down from there. If you go out the front gate, turn right, and go out past Callahan, there's another Mexican place just down there on the right-hand side, just past Callahan. I think it's called Taco Guadalajara or something like that, number 2 or something. Anyway, if you look it up on Google Maps, you can find it, but that's where we usually meet. Yeah, Carlos is a good guy. He really is. Always has been. He and I have been friends for years and years. Yeah, Russ gets around quite a bit too. I've seen him at HEB a time or two while I've gone in there. Russ doesn't live too far from me. I live way out 1283 or Calabria Road out in Medina County, but Russ lives off of FM 1560, that not too far from the intersection there at Calabria Road. So he's not that far away. Well, I've been streaming here for 53 minutes. Now I only plan to stay on about 30 minutes. So I think I'm probably going to end this live stream. I appreciate all y'all stopping in, and I just go through the front gate. They never stop me, but I can go back out through the side gate, and then whoever I pick up out there has a card to get back in from the side gate. They don't lock down the front gates. You can go in. You don't even have to stop. You just go around the right-hand side. There's one that says through traffic, keep right. You just go through there. They don't even stop you. That's during working hours. Now, after hours, it's a different story. Yeah. Thank you, Sir Montana Drones. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. This was my first real long live stream. I hope I did something interesting. If not, well, maybe we can do it next time. Thank you all so much, and I'm going to end this. Appreciate all of you stopping in tonight.